There are movies that you like, there are movies that you dislike, and then there are these movies that you just can't look away from, that make your liking or disliking of them immaterial, that seem to be following no rules or structures, that are their own beast. Month of Madhu is that rare delight of a movie. Hello and welcome to Film Companion South. You're watching Not At All Review. My name is Hriday Ranjan. In this video, we are going to be discussing Month of Madhu.
Madhu, Madhumati.
Madhu, Madhusudan Rao.
The film is written by Srikanth Nagothi, who also directed the movie. The film stars Swathi Reddy, Naveen Chandra and Shreya Navile. The film follows two timelines. One is of Madhumati, an NRI teenager who arrives in India for a wedding. And simultaneously, we also see snippets of a love story between a couple 20 years ago. It's interesting that the makers of the movie chose the name Madhu, because that word, that name itself is interesting, because on the surface, Madhu means honey. But Madhu also means alcohol or wine, like in Madhushala. Madhu is a word we often associate with Lord Krishna when we say Madhusudana. But Madhusudana literally means the one who killed Madhu, which was also the name of a Rakshasa. Now, like the word Madhu itself, the director creates a set of myriad characters in the film's world. The film takes all your expectations of the premise that you saw in the trailer and flushes them into the Bay of Bengal. It also doesn't seem to be following any noticeable structure too, thanks to the editing by Ravikant Perepu. The editor strangely zooms in on the details, on the nitty-gritties, and he seems to be zooming past the dramatic. Take for example, the portrayal of alcoholism in the movie. Usually we get a montage of the hero chugging down a bottle of booze and he is angry or he's crying, and behind him you have rock music playing in the background. But in Month of Madhu, I saw one of the most realistic, one of the most heart-wrenching portrayals of alcoholism. We get these long drinking scenes between Naveen Chandra and Vaiva Harsha, and honestly, they were like a work of art. They use the local language, and all these scenes are long drawn scenes, they're all single take. And in the conversation, both of these people who are drinking seem to be suddenly getting emotional or triggered. Alcoholism in this movie is not used as a plot tool, but it is shown for what it really is, an illness. Of course, as a movie, Month of Madhu requires some of your patience, because parts of the movie, especially in the beginning, can take a little getting used to. They can seem a little grating, particularly because of the accent or the pacing of the movie. On the surface, it might seem like it's a slow movie, but as you sit, along with the editor, the director makes you slowly sink in, like it's a heavy anchor of a movie. Month of Madhu is a thesis on the themes of loneliness. Every character in the movie is lonely, but is lonely in a different kind of lonely. If Oran Pamuk had the Museum of Innocence, this movie has the Museum of Loneliness. It is a film largely driven by terrific acting performances. Vaiva Harsha delivers a knockout performance as a man who you seem to know more of than he actually wants you to. It's almost voyeuristic to see him. Watching him perform is like eavesdropping on a conversation, a drunken conversation in Jalaripeta. Shreya Navile gets the toughest role in the movie of having to tell the story of the most unrelatable character, at least on paper, but she does it with tenderness, never once going into these stereotypes or seeming like a caricature. Naveen Chandra is stellar in the role of Madhusudan. He makes you feel both affection and sympathy for his character. It's a searing, scorching performance of a man who is addicted to alcohol but is also addicted to anger. And then there is Swathi Reddy, who is heartbreakingly good as Lekha. Across the two timelines, when you watch her, you kind of have a feeling of her slowly getting hardening and hardening as a person. So by the end, you're not seeing someone who is heartbroken, but someone whose love has decayed and turned into a tumor. It's one of the performances of the year. Month of Madhu is shot and edited masterfully. 2023 has already been a good year for Telugu cinema, and Month of Madhu is one of my films of the year. Go watch it in theaters. If you like movies that give two hoots to rules, structures or tropes. It's been a good weekend for me. 2 releases and both of them were good. I hope you have a good weekend too. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to Film Companion South on YouTube by pressing the bell icon. Thank you.